Whether you've been following along with me here, or you consume market commentary in another way, it is evident that artificial intelligence is infiltrating our portfolios and our lives. But with these technological advancements come concerns. Are computers coming for my job? And how far can automation go before regulation needs to step in? Hi, I'm Liz Laprade, Senior Investment Research Analyst, with today's episode of the Harvard Lookout. Welcome to my third and final video of my artificial intelligence or AI focused series. Today, I try and answer the question of whether we all need to be worried about losing our jobs to computers and if government regulation could become an obstacle to innovation. Let's start with the job question. First, I'd say that jobs have been at risk of automation for decades now. But with the emergence of large language models like ChatGPT, job risk could expand to cover human intellect roles. Something to keep in mind, though, there is a huge adoption curve. We won't wake up tomorrow and be told that our job was taken by a computer overnight. It can take a very long time before there is widespread adoption of new tools. In fact, I read an article in The Economist that stated that even though the internet was being used by some companies in the early 90s, it wasn't until the late 2000s that 2/3 of US companies even had a website. So during this new adoption cycle, we need to learn how to use AI as a co-pilot. How can it help me, and thus my company, in my current role to become more efficient and more valuable? Obviously, I know that's a difficult question to answer right now, but what I think we can do is be open and flexible to leveraging these new tools for ourselves. This also makes the case for business leaders to consider what education and training they should be offering their employees so that we are able to work with artificial intelligence and not against it. Okay, so if the future of our lives and careers will inevitably include AI, we know the government will have something to say about it. As of right now, there is really not much in the way of regulation surrounding artificial intelligence. I do think that's going to change as adoption rises, demand for regulation is rising. So I do expect artificial intelligence related policies to start coming out of the White House over the next year or so. That said, as was the case with the internet regulation, policy takes a long time to catch up with innovation. It doesn't tend to happen quickly. So it is hard to say right now whether it would stifle innovation, but I would say that it won't probably make it any easier. Other agencies, though, may not need to wait for the Biden administration. For example, the FTC will act within its own parameters, and it already has opened an investigation into ChatGPT. So I'm actually really anxious to see what comes out of that investigation because it could set a standard for other companies like it. So in summary, both workplace adoption and regulation can take years to come to fruition. So in the meantime, let's learn how to work with artificial intelligence and not against it. And that is it for me today. I will talk to you all soon.